name is Tawana Craig, and I am the Empire Diva.
Hi, I am Katrina, and I'm the firecracker, and you'll find out why.
Hi there, I'm Rosalind, and they call me the wise one. We'll talk about that. And we are a triple shot of sass. Cheers.
Cheers.
Yeah.
Okay, now that we have introduced ourselves, we have some questions. We think that you guys need to know some things about us. So I will start with the sassiest thing someone has ever said about me. I was late teen, early adulthood, and my aunt called me Miss Beverly Hills. Imagine. I never knew at the time what she was talking about, and maybe I still don't know to this day, but I took it and it was all in love. So Tawana, what is the sassiest thing someone has ever said to you?
Well, I don't know about the sassiest thing that someone has ever said to me, but when you mentioned that your aunt called you Miss Beverly Hills, what came to mind was Pretty Woman walking down the street, Pretty Woman. And so I can see that, right? But for me, I don't know about the sassiest thing that someone else has said about me. For myself, as you said, as I said in the beginning, I named myself the Empire Diva. And
Okay.
that would be it for me. That
I
was the
like it.
sassiest thing I said about me.
And what about you, Roz, the wise
You
one?
just sassy, Miss Tawada. I like it though. I like it. I don't know if it was sassy or anything else that someone said about me. Growing up, I always had different descriptors, right? Whether it was, oh, she doesn't feel like she belongs or she thinks she's better than us, or my walk. I got to tell you, my walk from, I got to say, from the time I was 12 years old until these knees started to give out. Everybody has always talked about the way that I walk. And I got to tell you, my mother spent a whole lot of money for me to be able to walk the way I walk. And that was only because I was so clumsy and I would trip all the time. So it was in no way a reflection of the fact that I might have thought I was better than anybody was. But, maybe I was. I don't know. We'll see.
Can I jump in for a second?
Yeah.
Sure.
Roz, I like the fact that you mentioned that it was about your walk because I just remember because we've been doing this for a while. Seventh grade, this girl was upset with me because she said I walk like I thought I was cute.
Hmm.
Never understood that. I think with the three of us, it's a confidence thing.
It
Things
is.
that we didn't even. It was just us being confident in who we are and just walking,
Head
right?
held
And
high.
so I just
Absolutely.
head held high. And trust me when I tell you that's something that has to be intentional.
Yes.
It has to be intentional because it's not something that, well, for some people it comes to them naturally, but for some it does not. And so it's just really weird that you mentioned your walk because I had that issue in junior high school that somebody said I walked like I thought I was cute.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. That's
it was the
amazing.
diva in me,
And you didn't even know.
and I didn't even know. Who knew?
Exactly.
Who
Okay,
knew?
so if each one of us was a cup of coffee, what order would it be? So for me, my Starbucks order is cafe mocha, but that doesn't represent who I am. I'll say a shot of tequila. That's it for me. It's
Hmm.
not for everyone, and I know that. So it's a shot of tequila.
Okay, I don't drink coffee. And
Hmm.
so to think about this question, and let me tell you why I don't drink coffee. Don't judge me, okay? Audience, do not judge me. I did not drink coffee because my sisters and my mom had to have a cup of coffee every single day to get their day started. And I swore that I would never drink coffee because I did not want to depend on something to get my day started. So what did I do? I started drinking Pepsis. Never thought about the fact that Pepsis is caffeine too, right? So guess what the girl was doing? She was drinking 5 Pepsis a day. I got to
You
work.
kidding me?
I kid you not. 8 o'clock in the morning, Tawana had a Pepsi. 10:30 break, Tawana had a Pepsi. 12 o'clock lunch, Tawana had a Pepsi. 2:30 break, Tawana had a Pepsi, and I had a Pepsi when I got home from work.
Wow.
So,
Anything to stop have that coffee though, right?
not to have coffee, girl, just so I wouldn't have to have coffee, right? So,
Yeah, but did not know your dependence on caffeine was there as well.
I did not. I did not. And now I have taken upon myself to stop drinking the sodas. It's a treat for me now to drink a Pepsi because I realized long ago that that is something that is not good for me. So to answer that question, I don't know. I don't drink coffee. So I don't know. I don't have a name.
Okay.
So
wow. You know,
Rosalind.
I'm taken back to my mother's days, you know, sitting back in Indiana and you know, what was the commercial? Maxwell
Folgers in
House.
your cup.
No, it was Maxwell House.
Oh, okay.
Good to the last drop. So, you know, that would be me, tall, dark, and rich. Good to the last drop.
I love it. I love it.
So yours is Maxwell coffee.
Yeah,
good to the last drop.
That you know, that was the commercial.
Good to the last drop. Okay,
yeah, so
like
that would be me. Yeah, good to the last drop.
I like it.
Okay, so Maxwell House, Folgers, Starbucks, Pepsi's. Hit your triple shot of Sass up.
Come on this way.
Exactly. Exactly.
I like it. I like it.
Okay, in our trio, who is most likely to spill the tea, cry, or fight, or become the peacemaker?
Well,
I spill tea. I spill tea. I spill tea.
Within the circle.
I am
only within the circle.
Only within the circle. Yeah, only in the circle. So I do spill tea. I don't cry as often.
I'm a crier. I am a crier. I'm going to admit it.
If I call Roz because I'm upset about something, she makes me cry. Even though she just makes me cry. So Roz is one that makes me cry. The fighter, I'm not a fighter. I think I am a peacemaker. But the fighter, Empire Diva. I remember the days. I remember the time. Yep. So what you got to say about that, Empire Diva?
Well, what I will say is I didn't start the fight.
True.
But I was there to end the fight.
Exactly.
And so because I believe that I also fit into that peacemaker portion of that too. Hell, you know, we all adults here. So hell, I might fit into all of them. A crier, because you know, I'm you know, I can be a waterhead at some time, and there are times that yes, I am a fighter. I had to clutch my pearls in the incident that happened a few days ago. I told Rosalind about it, and Trina, that's something that we'll have to discuss off screen.
Okay.
But yeah, I really had to pull it back in and remember who I am and whose I am.
Yes.
And I think that's why I've changed some of my ways. Now, mind you, people out there in the TV land and whoever's going to be
podcast land.
This is not something where you would catch Tawana, you know, out there throwing hands
On a
um,
regular.
on a regular basis. It was just, you know, how our parents would say, somebody hit you, you hit them back. I've learned now to use my words.
Yeah.
Like Rosalind, we can cut you down. We can cut you down with our words because we've all learned how to use our words wisely. And so people understand where we're coming from and not try us on a regular basis.
That's
And
it.
so, you know, for me, yeah, I can fit in a few of those categories. I
Mm-hmm.
can. So
Yeah, I definitely fit into the categories because everybody knows when Katrina walks through the door, I'm crying. When my brother, who lives in Vegas, walks through the door, I'm crying. He goes, "I'm not coming to see you anymore." I'm like, "Ah!" But anyway, out of love, I cry. But here's the thing: if you have ticked me off to the nth note, and you see that tear coming, that's your cue to leave. So tears can come from a different multitude of emotions for me. Some
Exactly.
might say that's a little unstable, but you know, it's just who I am. A fighter. I am a fighter because I fight for injustice to be
correct.
corrected. So I fight for justice. I'm an advocate for those who don't speak for themselves or can't. Um, in my work and in my practice, I fight on behalf of others. And gosh darn it, if you push me in a corner, I'm gonna fight you. It's not my first, thing, but I can throw them hands. But I guess that wasn't really nice to do it on the screen there. But yeah, I can throw them hands if it's necessary. But I think in my life, I am a peacemaker because I'd much rather live in harmony and in peace, and it keeps my blood pressure from going up. So, where I can, I try to be a peacemaker.
But I think what we all have learned is that words live.
Oh, I learned that from my
So
father.
we have to pick and choose what we say and to whom we say it.
Absolutely.
Because I tell you, it just replays in your mind what someone has said to you. Maybe, what someone has done to you um, doesn't live on, but what someone says to you, it just replays in your mind. And it's very difficult to get over.
It is. And I find that, in my coaching and counseling business, I work with women who are coming to me from those various different fractures in life, right? And yeah, there most often it's not because someone has hit them, or even if it's a dispute at work, it's not what the supervisor did, it's what the supervisor said and how that made me
Exactly.
feel. So words live, words hurt. And I've lived long enough to know I'll rather step away. If I'm on the keyboard, I just leave it. I try not to respond to an email that got me going up, right? Because when I do that, I might say some things out of anger or various different emotions that, yeah. So I try to be wise and step away and encourage others to do that as well.
Right. And then I will add to it, I learned this later on in life, is to pick your battles. We
Yes.
Yes.
definitely have to learn to pick our battles because everything isn't worth fighting for
Mm-mm.
or
Nope.
fighting over.
Right.
And so when someone comes to you with something that you may or may not agree with them on, you have to decide whether or not that is something that you want to fight for. Or
Mm-hmm.
if someone comes to you and it's their fight, it ain't it ain't got nothing to do with you. That's their fight. And they want to pull you in. Sometimes that thing when you think you out and somebody pulls you back in. Sometimes you don't need to let them pull you back in.
You
That's not
don't.
your fight.
Not
That's
my
not your
fight.
fight. And we're here and we're talking to you about some things that, we bring up memories about, and we remember the things that we went through. And I know some of you guys are looking now and listening, and you know, because and we'll get on another topic about who each and every one of us is and what we've gone through. But we were talking about fighting, and some of you are probably saying, I cannot see Tawana as a fighter, because I
Yeah.
think a lot of people think, which is okay, that I am this really mild mannered person that allows a lot of things to happen. But I remember someone says to me, if you ever get angry with me, tell me when you're angry with me. Don't let it build up. And that was my issue long ago, is that I would allow a lot of things to build up.
Mm-hmm.
And then when I unleashed it, it wasn't pretty.
Right.
It was not pretty. And so what I would suggest to people is nip it in the bud. Don't let it turn into a fight.
Absolutely.
And just, let it be. Let that happen when it happens, so that you can move on with your life. But again, I had to learn that. I had to learn to be able to use my words
Mm-hmm.
to say what I had to say, instead of letting things build up and it turned
Right.
into, as the old folks say, a fisticuff, an altercation.
Altercation.
Even do this right.
A
But we
rumble
good
in the
now.
jungle.
It's the Jesus in me. And then that's the Jesus in you.
Exactly. Not to mention, I don't look good in an orange jumpsuit. And this,
Come on
Hey,
now. Come on now. Our
we could be
stripes.
best friends. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
so yeah, we've learned to think about it, walk away.
before we do it. And
Right. Right.
also call each other and say, this is what's going on, and
Correct.
this is what I want to do, or this is what I want to say. And I remember, I know we're like, but I need to say this. So when I was married, the trash man ran on Thursdays or something, Mondays, whatever it was. I would go to work, my husband would be home. And knowing that the trash needed to be taken out, my ex-husband, knowing that the trash needed to be taken out, he worked like 2 to 10 or whatever. He would leave home without taking that trash out. I would hit the corner and I would have Tawana on the phone. And I'm like, if he hasn't taken out that trash, I'm going to be so angry. And she's like, how important is that?
Right.
She put it in perspective. It wasn't important, but it was something that I felt he should have done. But she helped me get over that. Because when I said to him, how come you didn't take out the trash? He said, well, how come you didn't take out the trash? Instant argument. It wasn't important, though. It wasn't important. So again, we call each other and we talk each other out of saying and doing. There was one that they couldn't talk me out of saying and doing.
Only one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
All right,
Anyway,
we're gonna let you tell the story.
I don't know which one that is.
Exactly. And the thing is that some people may be listening to this, and and again, this is that table talk, right? This is us talking. So we hope you have pulled up something so that you can, enjoy whatever beverage of choice that you may have. And so when we say certain things, these are things that have truthfully happened in our lives. Now, it may not apply to all of you, but these are the things that we've helped each other get through. And so some of you may have heard Katrina's story about the trash and taking out the trash. And my suggestion to her, or my statement to her was, is it that important? Okay, so your husband or your mate taking out the trash may be important to you.
Yeah.
That may be something that's important to you. So you have to figure out whether or not that's what is the word I'm looking
A
for?
deal
Deal
breaker.
breaker.
A deal breaker for you. Is him taking out the trash a deal breaker for you? Now, if it's not, let it go. Let it go. Because you can roll those things onto the curb just like him, right? Some of you may say, well, he's a man. He should be doing that. And I'm really okay with you feeling that way. We are all okay with you feeling that way. We're not
Absolutely.
here to tell you that your man should or should not, or your mate or your partner or whoever you're with should or should not take out the trash. Whatever works for your relationship. Okay, so this is real, y'all. We talking about things that happen. Y'all see this right here? That's because I'm having a private summer. So I'm just gonna go ahead and take those off right now, get those all taken care of, and then I'm gonna put them back on and finish my conversation with you.
Ah, that's right.
There we go. So here we go, y'all. So it may not be a deal breaker for you, could be a deal breaker for someone else. So we're just asking you that when you have those issues, think about it. Pick your battles, decide
Absolutely.
what's good for you, right? And so that's what we're here for. We're just here to have a little conversation with you, to have you be able to think about some things that you might not have thought about. You know,
That's right.
that,
That's right.
that's what we're here for.
I like
And
that,
we would be
Tawana.
happy for you to ask us some
Oh,
questions down in the
yes.
comments.
Yes.
Yeah.
Bring them in. Send them to us.
Send them in the
We will
comments.
answer your questions. And because it's three of us, you may receive three different answers because
Yes.
although we are friends and sisters, we don't all think the same at all.
No.
Especially
at all.
Having different upbringings and backgrounds, we do not think the same. And I think that that's what makes us who we are, and that's the bond that we have and have had over 40 years.
Exactly.
I know we don't look like it too. I know.
I know. It's the secret sauce to the triple sass. I mean,
Yes,
we
I like
are
that.
completely different. Yeah. So, that what both you, Tawana, and Katrina just said, Tawana taking off her glasses to kind of get the steam away. And Katrina, acknowledging that we've been friends over 40 years, but of course, we all look like it because I can look at me all day at this camera. But what a great segment or transition into our next topic, which is aging. Are we aging like fine wine or boxed wine? What you think? What say you, Tawana?
Well, I say fine. And here's the thing. This is that caveat because, some people are going to say, what's wrong with boxed wine? It's a preference.
It's a preference, but check this out. A box of wine is beautiful if you like that, but it cannot breathe. The glass cannot get through it. So that's why they say fine wine comes in a bottle and great wine, comes in a box. So, yeah, so there's a difference, but there's a preference, whatever you like, that's cool.
Whatever you like.
Yeah, so I like to say that we're aging like fine wine as well, right? So we're kind of teetering on the brink of, our midlife and maturity, and what we love and what's annoying and what's hilarious about this time in our life. I think that's great.
And can I throw this in, ladies? We talked about aging like fine wine. And so I know that some of you are saying, they look so good. Ladies look so good. But can I tell you, this is what 61 looks like. I just had to pause for a minute.
I know. This is 61.
Just let them take it all in.
I got to tell you.
Yes. And you know what? And my question is, we or me, when we were younger, 61 was old.
Exactly.
Yeah. Yeah. It was. I mean, I think about my grandmother. I grew up, I was very fortunate to have my grandmother as well as my great grandmother in my life until I was grown. And they weren't young. Like my great grandmother died, passed away. She was 100. My grandmother passed away at 89, 90. But to me, they were just as old the day I met them as the day we
Right.
went home to be with the Lord, right?
Exactly.
Love them, rest in peace. I miss them. But they were all, I mean, from when I was a little girl, my great grandmother, who probably, to be honest, was maybe 45, 50 at the time, maybe 60, I don't know. But they were old to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So I think there's a difference. And at 61, I don't feel like I'm ready to be sunset. I don't feel like I'm ready to be in the rocking chair or making space at the convalescent home for me.
Right.
I still plan to work for several more years, not because I want to, but the lottery numbers didn't come in yet. So I'm grateful that I can still work and it feels good.
Right. And it's so
For
funny
me,
because, oh, go ahead, Katrina.
no, for me, I lived with my one of my grandmothers, my mom's mother, but I visited my dad's mom every other weekend. And like we talk about age, they were old at 60 or 61. And this is what 60 looks like. I won't be 61 until December, but whatever.
She's the baby of the
Um,
bunch.
She's the baby of
yes,
the
I'm the baby of the bunch. My granddaughter, who is now 24, who is a mom herself, said to me one day, because she was living with me, she's like, "You're not like any other grandmother. You're supposed to be cooking for me and making sure that I'm fat." I said, "That's what you have your great grandmother for, because I'm not it." So I am not it.
Right.
I can still dip it and do it and go on about my life. As a matter of fact, I took her to the Chris Brown concert like maybe 4 years ago. I stood up the entire time and I knew every song he sang. So the generation has changed. 60 is not what it used to be. And I thank God for that. I thank God for that.
Yeah, definitely. And I can't even say it's about the medications because thank God
No.
I don't have a bag full of medications either. I just think it's a
Mm-hmm.
different lifestyle.
It is.
Yeah, I think we eat differently. And our parents came through the Jim Crow era and our grandparents came through segregation and all of those things. They fought those battles that we hoped and thought we'd never have to fight, but some of them are circling back. But I
Right.
think our parents and grandparents, they went through something very different. And,
Right.
We were taught to go to school, get that education, and get a good government job, get a good job with benefits. So
With
that's what we did.
benefits.
That's what we did. We got a job with benefits.
Exactly. Okay, Ralston. So what's next? What are we talking about next?
Oh, well, I just think it's really great. One of the things that we wanted to talk about today was what did you swear that you'd never do? And now that you're an adult and at this age, you do it all the time. I got one.
Okay, good. Because I had to think.
Man, oh man. And when I catch myself doing it, I be like, oh, stop it. Don't do that.
I'm
So
turning into my
I can
mother.
be upstairs, right? And my children who are which they got mega knees. My son is 14, my daughter is 12. They could do it. I'll call them from upstairs and like, hey, can you bring my purse upstairs? Rather than me getting up, going downstairs to get it. Or if they're all upstairs, and I don't see the remote control to my TV.
Oh no.
I'll be like, hey, Honest, can you find mommy's remote control? And when I think about that, I cringe because don't do that. You know,
Right.
back in the day, my mother would have me like move the antenna on the TV or go turn the channel because at some point we didn't have a remote control. Later we did. But when I do that and I'm asking my kids to go get those things for me, I'll be like, stop it. You said you'd never do it because it would get on my nerves.
Right.
Can't
One of
think
the
of
things,
anything
I got
that.
one. I
Okay,
have
go
one.
for it.
And it's so funny because it seems like I'm taking a poll because I just want to hear if and out there in podcast land, y'all chime in on this one. When my mom, who was alive, she passed when she was 91. But up until her 90, at 90, she still wanted me to call her when I got home.
Oh.
I wasn't living with her, right? Wasn't living with her, but when I got home from work, she wanted me to call her to let her know I was home, right? And that used to bother me. And I would always like, why do I have to call you when I get home? You know, I'm an adult. I'm home. I'm fine. Well, now that I have a 33-year-old son and I don't hear from him, my thing is, you can't call a sister. I'm not getting that. Well, you know, I'm like trying to figure out you all right? You can't. And so it takes me back to when Essie wanted me to call her when I got home and how it bothered me.
And
But
he
now
out there living his life.
he out there living his life, right? And here I am like her saying, you can't you just can't call and say, hey, mom, whatever, right? In his mind, he's okay. Well, you know you okay, but I don't know you okay. And
Right.
so I've started asking people, right? Does your son call you? Do you talk to your son every day? Do you talk to your son every week? Do you? And the answers that I have been getting is no. They don't talk to their son every week. They don't talk to, and I think it's more so with boys than it is with
Oh, I
girls.
was gonna say, yeah.
Right. It's more so with boys than it is with girls. They don't talk to their sons every week. Sometimes they talk to them once a week, maybe every 2 weeks or whatever. And so I had to sit back and take a chill pill because Sister Girl over here was running herself crazy, you know, because I'm like, dude, what? I raised you. I taught you stuff. I'm trying to figure this out, dude. What? Hey, I'm getting better. I'm getting better.
Be
So
sure.
I really am, right? We have a friend named Nikki. I talked to her yesterday, day before yesterday. We had that conversation. She said the same thing. Sometimes she doesn't talk to Demetrius or Marquise for a week or two. And I'm like, okay, okay. So I'm
Maybe
trying.
it's with boys
I think
because
it's with boys. I think it's with boys. So anybody out there listening, fill us in. Tell us whether or not, if it's boys, girls, you know, if you talk to your child that does not live with you, do you talk to them every day, once a week, once every 2 weeks? Just let me know. Let us know. We'd like to hear from you.
Absolutely.
Kirk asked me yesterday, he said, have you talked to Jazz? And I said, I talked to her on Friday. He said, what about Autumn? I said, I talked to her on Friday too. He said, what? You haven't talked to Autumn at all today? Because she has taken the place of my mother. My mother used to call me minimum, I'll leave it at 5, 6 times a day. But what you guys will know later on, once you get to know us and me, my mom is in a home and she basically can't, pick up the phone and call. I talk to Autumn. If she calls me one time, she's gonna call me 3 times that day. So I haven't talked to her since Friday, but she's gonna call me in the morning. What's up, mom?
Now, see, I would be like, Autumn ain't called me since Friday.
Yeah, I knew she had something going on this weekend.
Okay.
But
Okay.
Jasmine, we talk like twice a week. And sometimes I'm okay with it and sometimes I'm not. I know she's married. She has her own family. She has a job. Her daughter's in middle school. She also is an entrepreneur, so she doesn't have a lot of time to talk to me. But what I have learned, I don't know who said this, but 12 minutes? Which one of us said that? 12
You?
minutes. Oh,
it was you.
Okay, so I need to call her and tell her I need 12 minutes. I'll say 3 times a week.
I like it.
And sometimes I look at my phone to see how long she and I have talked. And I look at the phone when I'm talking to you guys to see how long we talked because we need that 12 minutes.
Right.
But it's also, I think I read somewhere the hugs have to be 20 seconds. So with Kurt, we hug and I'm counting, he's counting, and he gives me a little bit more than 20 seconds, but I get it, several times a day. But I don't have a son. I had a stepson. I don't have a son, so I don't know what that's like. But yeah, I want to talk to my daughters, but I also want them to have their own lives and do things. But when they call me and they ask me for advice, I love it. I love it. I love it. And I share with them, the knowledge that I have. So, yeah.
Yeah, yeah. I'm pretty lucky. My son, as you both know, moved back in with me to help me with my then uh, 5 and 8-year-old. And now, as I said, they're 12 and 14, almost 15. So my adult son moved back in with me to help me care for them. So I have the pleasure and sometimes I don't know, I won't say the displeasure, but sometimes my son I will talk 10 times a day. I'm at work and he'll call me asking for advice on this or that. Now, that's not every day, but we have a very close bond, just as you all do with your kids. And boy, I've gotten to the point now that if I didn't see him, now there was a time when he lived off on his own and I wouldn't see him or talk to him for days or weeks, and he lived less than 2 blocks. I'm like, you do know I can just come sit up at your house, right?
Right.
But,
I have the key.
Okay, and did.
Yeah, but I think now he thinks the tables have turned and he thinks he's the parent and I'm the child. And the frequent calls are to check on me and see where I am and what I'm doing, if everything's okay. Because he knows I still don't know these Inland Empire streets.
And for those of you who are just coming in and you're trying to figure out what are these crazy ladies talking about, this stems from us trying to figure out things that we do now that our parents did, and we're like, I was not going to do that. And so we're now, some of us, me, are are doing something that my mom did to me, which was, having me call her when I got home from work in the evenings. And now I am following that cycle with my son that I'm trying to break. So pray for us, sister.
Yeah, yeah. That's pretty good though, Tawana. What about you, Trina? What did you do? What do you do that you swore you would not do when you became an adult?
Think anything. I can't, nothing comes to mind. Nothing that
Okay.
I want to be the best mom I can be to my
Right.
girls. They're 41 and 43. I know this is crazy. But nothing, I can't think of anything that I thought about I wouldn't do that I am currently doing. I never made them bring me the remote or anything like that.
I am
for
guilty. I
me,
am.
but for me, I grew up with my daughters. I was 19 with 2 kids and a full-time job. So I was still growing and learning. But one thing I said that I would not do, and that, okay, so it is one thing. So my mom worked graveyard, and I had a brother that was 6 years younger than me. Um, and I had to take care of him. I had to make sure he got up, ate, got dressed, and got to school on time. I said I would never do that to my daughters because they did not have that child. You know, Fortunately, I did not have another child. Like I said, I had a stepson. Um, but that is something I said I would never do because it's like, why? I decided to have if this happened, I decided to have another child. My girls didn't. So why is it their responsibility?
Right.
So, but that's the only thing I could think of that. I mean, I didn't do, and I thank God I didn't have another kid. Chalet. Anyway, next.
Yeah, that's pretty good. Pretty good. So I think we're now moving on to our next piece, which is if the younger you met you today, what would she say to you?
Can I go first?
Yeah, go for it.
Don't go to that barbecue. Stay home. Your kids will be just fine.
Inside.
That Saturday.
That's one of those, if you know, you know.
Oh, don't go to that barbecue. Stay home.
Mm-hmm.
And on top of that, the first date, his lips were chapped. And you said you weren't going out with him anymore.
Uh-huh.
And you accepted a second date and ended up marrying him.
Mm-hmm.
No, that's what I would don't go to, girl, don't go to that barbecue. That's the do not go to that barbecue. You had spent all this time with these people and you had never met this person. You could have done without meeting him that day. That's it. Next.
Oh, Roz, do you have it or you want me to go or how do you want to do it?
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and answer this question and then you can take us out and wrap it up, right? So I think that my younger self would say to me, because we live by it, on time is 5 minutes before, right? That's on time. The one thing I love about Katrina, especially when we were hanging out when we were younger, she was never going to be late. She was always at least 5 minutes early, but definitely on time, right? Tawana, we had to work with her a little bit, but yeah.
But when money was being made, she was there early.
She's there early. But what I always value is being on time. Mm-hmm. And I had an event in my life that really changed the course of my life where everything was delayed. The person who was coordinating showed up 30 minutes late. That was my first clue to go back home. It was 5 o'clock in the morning. I should have just went back home is what I should have done. But my younger self would say, stick to what you know. Stand on it. If you don't like late, why are you here? Go home. The designated time was 5:30. At 5:35, you should have been on the freeway back home. So that's what she would tell me, to stand on business. Do what you said you're going to do. Do not accept what you said you won't accept. And stop second guessing yourself. You know the difference.
Yes, yes.
Mm-hmm. That's what she would say.
I think that's good. Yes, I am that one that
gonna show up.
I am going to show up. What would I would say about from to my younger self is you are enough.
Mm-hmm.
I would say that to me. And again, you guys, you ladies, gentlemen are going to learn so much about all of us throughout this time. What I will say to you is I struggled with low self-esteem for a very long time. And sometimes that little monster shows up in me, even at this age. And so I had to finally figure out and understand that I'm enough. I'm enough for me. I'm enough for the people that are in my life. And I'm enough for the people that are going to come into my life. Because this is who God created. He created me fearfully and wonderfully made, and God does not make any mistakes. And so until I decided, or I felt, or I learned, or I accepted that I was enough, I allowed other people to make me feel that I was not.
Mm-hmm.
To that little girl who thought everyone was prettier than her and looked better than her and was smarter than her and could do things better than her, I would tell her, it's not about them. It's about you. And
Yeah.
you are absolutely, positively enough. And
Enough.
stand on that.
That's
Stand
it.
on that.
Stand on it. Exactly.
That is what I would say to everyone. Ladies, I think this was a great, great, great episode. I am
I do
looking
too.
forward to everyone participating with us, coming back and listening to us. We hope that you have picked up some gems from us. We want you to hit that subscribe button. We want you to like it. We want you to share it. We want to hear what your comments are.
Yes.
Not only are we here for you and your family and your friends, we are also learning, because some things that we have not said out loud, we may say out loud on this podcast.
Yes.
So hold us to it. Tell us what you want to hear. Send us some good stuff that we can talk about, because we have some stuff that we're going to share with you, ladies and gentlemen. And we also want you to know that we're going to bring visitors on.
Yes.
We're going to bring visitors on. So those of you who are sitting at home saying, oh my God, is she going to call us? Is Trina going to call me? Is Rosalind going to call me? Is Tawana going to call me? Maybe. Yes,
pick up your phone.
Maybe. And answer
yes,
that phone.
pick up your phone.
Pick up your phone, because we know if we call you, we know that you have a story to tell.
Exactly.
So right now, ladies, we're going to say bye. Do you have some words that you just want to say before we just get here?
I just want to say, tune in to us on October 14th. You will not be disappointed.
Yeah. So, and you can catch a live, or at least a recorded live
yeah, exactly.
on YouTube every Tuesday. You can find a new episode. We'll be there.
Yes. Yes. So for now, let's raise our glasses, ladies.
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot.
Toot, toot.
What's in your glass, Tawana?
What's in my glass is actually ice lemonade.
Okay. And what's in your glass, Katrina?
Blue raspberry and lemonade.
And what's in my glass is
what's in your glass?
Pineapple lemonade.
I know the audience was like, really?
That's it.
Is that y'all shots?
Yeah,
it is.
It's a triple shot.
Here's to you, ladies. Here's to a triple shot of Sass.
Yes. Enjoy. Take us out.
We're out. See you
We're
later.
out.
Bye.
Bye.
All right.